So I heard that you told yourself that in 2025 you wanted to read more but never ended up doing it. If that sounds like you, then you're exactly like me. I feel like a New Year's resolution of mine was that I really wanted to start reading for various different reasons. If you guys grew up with me, then you would know that I do not like reading. I have never liked reading. I have never been the person who can focus on reading. I have always been bored after a couple of pages. So reading and me were never besties. And I'm really trying to mend our relationship. I felt like with social media, I was losing a lot of my vocabulary. I feel like I was definitely not as eloquent just because I was spending too long on social media. I wasn't writing enough, I wasn't reading enough, and then I was using ChatGPT for a lot of different things. So I just felt like if I continued on that path, I would be cooked. I couldn't even write like I used to. One thing about it, in high school, I used to be able to write essays, like crazy essays in both French and English, but specifically in English. I felt like I really fell in love with English literature, don't get me wrong. I also really love my French literature, but I could just write in English so easily. And I feel like I really lost that skill. Be the person that's like 25, 30, 35, 40 and not be able to write a single sentence, or like not even be able to really express myself how I want to. So I have taken the executive decision, the stakeholder decision to start reading. And I think you should too. I also felt like the fact that I was living in the US, I was not hearing a lot of French around me. So I felt like I was speaking two languages, but just never being able to truly be comfortable in one language. If you guys know, I had a podcast, like I think last year, 2 years ago. Wow, it was 2 years ago? Anyways, I had a podcast 2 years ago. Crazy, time flies. And the podcast was in French, but if you watch the podcast, then you would know that I often switched to English. I just couldn't focus on one language. I really liked the podcast, and I really like how I was able to speak so freely about such important topics. But it annoyed me so much that I was not able to keep the conversation solely and strictly in French. And doing a lot of self-reflection, I also noticed that I was very bad at multitasking. No matter what you tell yourself as well, let me hold your hand when I say this, you're bad at multitasking as well. Like you're never really able to get your mind to focus on one certain task, and I feel like that has been something that has been so hard for me, because if I'm doing two things at the same time, best believe I'm not doing anything right. And I also noticed that I'm not really someone who can work and have like outside noise or like listen to music or podcasts or YouTube videos. I really need to be able to focus on one thing. So I really feel like reading is going to help me being able to practice that skill of just focusing and not really thinking about anything outside of the book I am reading. So to cut the story short, we need to start reading. I'm very proud of myself because I was able to read a couple of books. I think in the last 2 months, I've read a couple. This video is going to be book recommendations for people who don't think they like reading. Disclaimer, I think everyone likes reading. It's just about like what you're reading, but I rest my case. 2, can't focus on a single task. And 3, just need a good story. Like through my research, I have noticed that I don't really like self-help books. I would rather listen to it as an audiobook or as a podcast. Just notice that they don't really grasp my attention like that. This is only going to contain non-self-help books, and all of these are mostly like fiction, so yes. First things first, one thing that I got that I feel like really changed my reading styles was my Kindle. Guys, when I tell you guys that this really allowed me to be able to read so much more, just because it's so small, I can put it in my bag, I can just bring it everywhere with me. So it has really allowed me to be able to get into the habit of reading more. This might also be a really big no shit Sherlock moment, but I recently got a library card and I did not know you could access the audiobook, the Kindle books for free. Like I had no idea. I'm sorry, I did not know. But now that I do, best believe I'm going to be using this subscription to the max. The first book I'm going to recommend is Dream Count. I really like the book, although I feel like I only really like Hadiatu's chapters. So I don't know, I just felt like I connected with it more. It made more sense to me. I feel like the other stories, they were really good, but I just didn't feel like there was a point, if that makes sense. Like the other stories didn't really have that much of a plot. It was just random stories put together, and I really did not like that. I just felt like Hadiatu's story I related to the most. Not that I'm Guinean or anything, but being from West Africa, I don't know, I really like the story. Don't shoot the messenger. I liked it. So yeah, if you're interested in reading it, honestly, I would just skip all the other chapters and just read my girl Hadiatu's chapter, because I think it was really good. But yes, I really like the book. I really like the storyline, although I didn't really like the end of the story, but I still feel like it was such a good read. And it was a read that I was really able to be locked in on. I'm gonna rate it like a 7 out of 10 just because, like I said, I only like Hadiatu's chapters and I didn't like the end. The end didn't really make sense to me. We didn't get closure. So I was really upset about that. So it's gonna get a 7, but it was still an amazing read. The next book I'm gonna recommend is The Midnight Library. When I tell you guys that this book had me hooked. Like, I loved every single second of it. Honestly, like, I loved the book. It made me think about myself and my personality, how I want to like try out different things and I don't know what will work. So I end up just like not doing anything. And honestly, I love the book. I don't really want to spoil the story too much, but it was such an amazing read. I will absolutely give it a 10 out of 10. I felt like it had me hooked from beginning to end. Like, I really like fantasy books like that kind of have a moral at the end. So yeah, if you're looking for a story that's gonna have you think about your life decisions and think about living life to the fullest, I would definitely check out The Midnight Library. Another book I'm gonna recommend is The Housemaid. I know this book is so popular and they're even making a movie, but it's popular for a reason. Like, I think this was actually the first book I picked up when I decided that I was gonna stop playing around and actually start reading. But like, girl, like, it was so good. From the intrigue to the plot to the characters, it was just great. Like, I really liked it. I think she did an amazing job and she's such an amazing writer. I'm actually reading another book of hers. I'm reading it in French. In French, it's titled Le Psy, but I think there's another name in English. If I find it, I'm gonna put it up on the screen. I haven't finished it yet, so I'm not really going to recommend it too much, but I love The Housemaid. And I know that they're coming up with a movie the next year or something, so I would definitely recommend reading the book first and then watching the movie, because you're going to be able to like have a more pleasant watching experience. If you're looking for something to just start reading and something to just like get your foot in the door, I would absolutely check out The Housemaid. You just really get to learn about the complexity of each character, and I really enjoyed how she described each of them before giving us the juicy story. And I'm also going to give it a 10 out of 10. Now, I also wanted to explore some Senegalese authors, and I checked out a book by Ousmane Sembène. It was called Salah Khala. I think it's Khala. I liked it. I really liked the book. I think it did an amazing job telling us about the Senegalese society during that time. And growing up in Senegal, I can positively say that it was spot on. Like, there was even some words that my mom used so much growing up, and I saw the English translation, because I read the book in English, and I saw the English translation and I was like, hold up. Is this play about us? Like, if you're looking to kind of expand and learn more about like different African, specifically Senegalese authors, I would definitely check it out. I didn't really like the end, not gonna lie. I felt like we could have had a better ending. We could have had closure. I don't know what it is with the authors. Like, I don't feel like they give us closure in most books, but I think I finished it in like a week. It's not that long at all. So if you're looking for something very quick, I would definitely grab it. I'm also expanding on a little more like Nigerian authors and stuff. So when I'm done reading the book that I have currently, I'll definitely give you guys a review. I think I'll give it like a 8 out of 10 just because I didn't like the ending. But the book in itself, the storyline, the representation of the society, and the different interactions between the characters and the society was extremely spot on, extremely. So I think that was it for my very small and short list. I have enjoyed all of these books, because if I didn't, I wouldn't have recommended, of course. They were perfect for someone like me who's just trying to get to it and to reading. So yes, if you guys end up reading them, definitely let me know. If you guys want more videos like this, definitely let me know. I feel like this is so different from my usual content. I'm slowly learning that I'm just gonna take my YouTube channel like my little personal diary, just share everything that I really want to share. Really think about like algorithm and all of those things too much, and not just publish vlogs, because I know that you guys have really enjoyed my vlogs, but I wanted to also make more like personal content and kind of talk about different stuff that is happening with me, like reading. Also thinking about maybe creating a book club on Instagram, maybe like a social media channel, so we could share book recommendations and I could kind of keep you guys up to date with everything that I'm reading. If you guys would be interested in seeing that, definitely leave it in the comments down below. But as of right now, that is it for the video. I'm going to go and I'm going to wish you guys happy reading.